Alright folks, it's your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you from Robeson County, North Carolina. Currently I am on Interstate 95 headed southbound. Me and my daughter and my grandson that you hear in the background, we are headed to Fort Benning because my son-in-law graduates from the School of Gravity tomorrow. If y'all don't know what School of Gravity is, the actual name for it is Basic Airborne School. Yeah, you tell them, Leon. But I want to take a minute to do this real quick video. Last couple of my videos I've been talking about what's going on in the Ukraine and our support and all that stuff. I want to go back in time though. I want to go back to June 25th of 1950. If you're not sure what happened at that point in time, break out a history book, but I'll tell you. When a communist nation known as North Korea mounted 10 divisions and went south. And they basically rolled through a very weak South Korean army of about 38,000 soldiers. And the United States opted to exercise their obligation to help support and defend the fledgling South Korean government. So in haste, a battalion task force, it wasn't even a full-strength battalion, particular unit that went over was missing one entire rifle company. They went over 2 rifle companies, a headquarters company, and an artillery battery of 6 guns. The artillery battery drew and took with them 1,200 rounds of high explosive and only 6 rounds of anti-tank ammunition. The infantry units were armed with outdated, outmoded 2.36-inch bazookas and 2 57mm reportless rifles. All in all, they mounted a force of about 540 some odd soldiers. They got on ground and their orders were to fight a rear guard delaying action until further units could be brought in to beef up the South Korean forces in South Korea in what would later become known as the Pusan Perimeter. Task Force Smith is the name of it. It was named after the battalion commander. It was a battalion of the 21st Infantry Regiment, part of the 24th Infantry Division, which had been on occupation duty in Japan for well over 5 years. There were very few officers in the unit that had combat experience from World War II, and there were even fewer enlisted personnel that had combat experience from World War II. But go they did, and went they went. First engagement, the North Koreans came rolling through with former Soviet T-34 tanks. You know anything about T-34? The well-built, rugged machine. It could take on the best of the German Panzers, and did successfully. The 2.36-inch rocket launchers had no effect. The 105mm high explosive rounds had no effect on the tanks. Eventually they got to a point where one gun from a 6-gun battery that had the 6 anti-tank rounds were able to stop 2 out of 15 tanks. There was an additional North Korean column of over 30 tanks that came through next. Task Force Smith inevitably was overrun and began to retreat in disarray. Task Force Smith, ladies and gentlemen, was nothing more than a token speed bump in the greater scheme of things. Now, old soldier, what are you talking about? Well, currently there's 1 brigade from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the 82nd Airborne Division that's currently deployed, along with the 2nd Aluminum Car Regiment. I call it the Aluminum Car Regiment. They're no longer an armored cav regiment like they once were. They're a striker platform regiment. And against current Russian tanks, main battle tanks, an airborne brigade and a cav regiment are nothing more than a token speed bump of the force that's been amassed on Ukrainian borders. I don't know what the troop strength or deployment of other NATO nations are right now. But a 3,500 man brigade from Fort Bragg and about a 5,000 man regiment, not even a division size unit. I want you to think about that, folks. And I'd highly encourage you to call your congressmen and your senators and voice your concern about that. And voice your concern about why isn't NATO putting additional troops forward? Why isn't NATO itself gearing up into a war posture to act as a deterrent to Soviet aggression or Russian aggression? Now, mind you, I'm going to throw another carrot out there. For those that believe that Ukraine is this democratic nation now, not really. Now, mind you, I don't think Russia has any right to roll into Ukraine, but I'm not going to avoid the fact that the current president of Ukraine, after election, basically locked up all his opposition in jail, had them arrested. They shut down all 3 of the news stations within the country. They silenced the voices and the opinion of the opposition. That's not necessarily a democratic leader. Just get the facts out there, folks. But the reason that NATO's taking any measures because Ukraine applied and was recently accepted into NATO. I forget how long ago it was. But at the end of the day, I still stand by what I say, that we've got no business in this fight. We've got no business over there. We have no business dealing with this. Especially when other NATO member nations, from everything I've seen and heard, haven't done squat. Except Germany. Germany sent helmets. Good on Germany sending helmets. Yay. Yeah, send helmets. That's what the people of Ukraine need. Is more. Yeah, you tell them, Leon. Is what they need is more helmets. Because mind you, folks, if this thing goes hot, it'll be our taxpayer dollars that are going to foot a lot of this. So harass your congressmen and your senators over this crap. Let them know you're not happy with this. Does that mean anything's going to happen? Probably not. But we can sure as heck irritate our elected leaders to maybe go up to Congress and say something before we commit any more troop strengths, any more resources. Because the executive office will come back and claim they're exercising the War Powers Act. Okay. And that's what Bush did when we went back in Iraq in 2003. Everybody and all the Democrats flushed and raised Cain. But anyway, folks, we can get off here and concentrate on traffic. Like I said, we were headed to Fort in the beginning. Go see my son-in-law graduate from airborne school tomorrow, get his wings, aka the School of Gravity. So hopefully we'll get a video out of that tomorrow. I'm going to try anyway. So until then, God bless, take care, stay safe, stay vigilant, stay armed, keep your eyes open, your neck on a swivel. Anyway, that's for you, Brother Kyle. God bless, take care, Soul Soldier out.